Jacob.
How are we?
Hey, we're good. We're doing great. How you doing?
So good.
I like that shirt, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Very textured.
Thanks. Man, we watched Mission Impossible 2 last night.
Are you
Horrible movie.
really? I don't really remember it that well.
The first one, I gave 4 stars out of 5. Loved it. Just classic. 30 years ago. 96, by the way. Can't believe he's been playing that character for 30 years.
The second one was in 96 or the first?
The first one.
First?
96. Tom Cruise. Hans Zimmer. Like that movie influenced everything. That influenced The Incredibles. Anyway, great movie. The second one, awful. Just awful. Like they learned what to not do. Just awful. And then after that, every movie's imperfect.
I'm so stoked for the last one.
Wait.
So stoked.
I know. We're watching them all right now, so that
You'll
Ken's
be
not gonna go
prepared.
see the opening night. Yeah, but yeah, I was watching Mission Impossible 2 last night. I was like, this movie's awful.
Man, how has Tom Cruise done it?
He's amazing. Also, I was watching. Did you ever watch the animated Scooby-Doo movies?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite? Those were my childhood. Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase
Oh, man.
and
They weren't like my...
Zombie Island.
They weren't like my... Like, I would watch them, but I wasn't, like, religious about them now.
Those were my childhood, man.
What I do remember very vividly was the like real action, the live action.
Crazy.
That one was, I loved that movie.
No one thought would do well in it.
But
killed
also
it.
like scary as well, like the people in like the skull
You
costumes.
know Fred and Daphne got married.
Who, what?
Fred and Daphne, they got married. Those actors
In real life?
Yeah, they're
Really?
still married. Kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Shaggy, that actor, I forget his name, did such a good job in that movie.
Wow. He was
That
a
the
perfect Shaggy.
animators have hired him to be the voice of Shaggy in the animated
You're
movies for
kidding me.
20 years.
You're kidding.
No.
He was a great Shaggy.
Yeah,
He was a good Shaggy.
still is.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the little dog's name in that one?
Scooby-Doo?
The tiny one?
Oh, Scrappy.
Scrappy.
Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy Doo. I loved that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched those with Amelia the other day. She didn't care, but I was
Not yet.
watching them.
Wow, that's a
Good movies.
Good movie.
Anyway, yeah, Mission Impossible. Can't wait.
Can't wait for the last one.
What are we watching tonight with the boys?
Nothing was thrown out.
We're not going to a movie, are we?
No. So the whole point of going to Downs
Rather
was
not,
he has
the
a theater. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say, we're not going, right?
But I did find
We'd
it
rather just hang
interesting.
out.
Yeah, I did find it interesting when we were talking in the chat. He's like, "Well, yeah, like we have some DVD options." I was like, DVDs,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How about a soft 4K? That's exactly what I want.
Blu-ray. I don't know.
Christopher Nolan actually says Blu-ray is the best form of media consumption in the world currently, over streaming.
How? Just quality?
Yeah. If you get a good Blu-ray player and a Blu-ray disc, he says it's the best way to watch a movie
Really?
because streaming is it's
Compressed?
high quality but it's compressed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And the audio is different on streaming.
I could be convinced to watch some Blu-ray, something tonight.
We'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, what should we watch?
I don't know. It needs to be a banger.
Yeah.
Seeing bad movies.
Yeah, we've had some good ones recently, but I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Mind if I snag an Altoid?
Oh, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim, do I Altoid?
Ding.
And then nothing goes. My mouth is so dry.
What we got today, Jacob? What do we
Some
have?
stories.
Let's read some
Got
stories.
some stories.
Yeah, let's read
All
them.
right, you guys, we're going to dive right into it as I suck on this Altoid. We'll suck on some drama. I was filming, this is my videographer, awkward moment. This is a long one, so we'll dissect it as we go. I was filming a wedding, and everything was going smoothly. Great venue, great couple, great vendors, etc. My wife was second shooting with me, but is also a photographer. My wife had actually done this couple's engagement shoot, but they had already booked their wedding photographer before they had met my wife. Anyway, my wife was covering video of the bride getting ready, and the photographer wasn't there yet. I don't think they booked coverage for that long, but in the moment of the bride's big day, she asked my wife, could she take a handful of photos of some details and such, not thinking anything of it. See,
Could
I
you just
think
do a
that's
quick-
so slimy.
I hate that,
I
yeah.
hate that. Sorry to
Could you
your bride.
just do this and that and stuff?
It's like, I don't want to pay for the photographer to be there. I'm going to ask someone who's already there to do 2 jobs at once. Bothers me.
Yeah, bothers me too.
Do your one job. She did it. She wasn't going to say no to a bride on her big day, especially when they're acquaintances. See, I agree. If in the moment we're sitting there, we're there,
Hey,
and they say,
I know you have the video,
"Can you
but
take some photos," I'd say yes.
Yeah, I would too.
I'd make it a moment. I'd say, yeah, we'll do it really quick, and then I gotta go back to my video settings. So I'd switch. I'd make it a moment, 20 seconds, and then that's it.
They are an acquaintance, though.
I wouldn't say yes all day. I'm like, yeah, let's do it really quick because I have to make my video settings. I explain it, but I'd probably say yes.
But if they reach out ahead of time and saying that, you got to talk about it a little more. Yeah.
Sorry, this wasn't even part of the day. I originally was submitting, but just remember this part. Okay. Photographer shows up. It's cool and everything goes well through the ceremony. At some point, we're talking, and my wife mentions that she just took a few photos to the photographer, and she gets quite worked up about her contract and the clauses within it. So the photographer is now getting mad
that they took photos.
So there's some clause. Again,
not your
the videographer isn't liable, but the bride could be.
Not your fault.
Which we understand, but she definitely made a bigger deal than it needed to be. To this day, I don't know if my wife shared the photos with the bride or not due to the reaction from the photographer. I told my wife, just send them and tell her not to post those ones. It was her wedding day and she deserves them. It's not that deep. Yeah. I do think some people want there to be drama.
I think so too.
It's a small thing, like, I'm going to make this what I'm worked up about. We've met some of those people.
I was about to say, I don't know how much I can. I'm not even thinking about a wedding. I'm just thinking about
not a wedding.
A specific event.
Moment.
Yeah, when
we're about to be filming something.
And
someone thought their contract was stepped on, but there was no contract.
Okay, we're thinking of different things.
And
I'm thinking of
remember?
I don't think I remember. We'll talk about that after. I'm thinking of something. Let's see if you can pick up on this one. An event we shot wasn't a wedding, where something was posted and somebody thought I didn't pass off on
just
this.
texted you this.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exact same story.
It's like, I didn't pass off on this. And it's like, well, you're pretty far down the ladder, but you want to feel important.
Yeah. Now, this is different because there's a contract in place.
Right.
Let me finish this Altoid. I feel like I'm talking.
Yeah, I definitely just crunched right into the microphone. Wait,
right.
But while you finish the Altoid, I did want to say, tell me if I'm in.
Drink water after an Altoid.
Oh my!
We should drink cold water right now.
Dude, they've got some right outside this
door.
Just
to feel something.
It's already cold when I breathe in. Tell me if I'm in the wrong here or if I'm the minority. Most times, I feel like when someone tells me to take a picture of something, they don't even notice when it's not included in the gallery.
No,
because so
ignorant.
much crap happens on a wedding day.
So
like if this videographer who took some pictures didn't deliver, I guarantee the bride didn't even notice because there's so much stuff that happens.
I believe it. I also just don't think brides know the difference between photo and video.
Yeah, most times.
I think they're still like, why are we, like, even the parents, like, why are we paying for both? Mm-hmm. You want more cameras?
Oh yeah, they just see a camera person.
So I get it. It could just be like an ignorance thing, like you know,
it's like no stress.
You're here, you know, and you're also just like not doing anything. So like, you're not filming me right now. I can take pictures.
Right.
Happy for the hour.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sorry. Now to the original story I came here to tell. So that's not even the story. It came time for dinner, and the photographer comes up to us completely flustered and in dismay that there is not a vendor table. I'm so excited to talk about this.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
My wife and I respond with a simple, "Oh, that's fine." As this was our first year and don't think we had ever had a vendor table, we usually prefer to find our own space over a vendor table or a guest table anyway, rather than being forced to make random small talk and have some distant relative tell us how they have a camera. The bride and groom are sitting with their food, and the photographer goes up to them at the head table and mentions how there is not a vendor table. We are in awe watching this unfold and begin to feel the embarrassment as we're going to be roped in with this complaint, because they're probably looking at the videographers like off to the side, like they told you to go tell on them. The venue is then rushing around to create a table behind the DJ booth for all of us and is very apologetic. I assumed the DJ was planning to just eat at his booth, and also I wasn't concerned about a vendor table. I felt sick to my stomach as this whole thing was unfolding and being tied to this moment when I would have rather been eating on the balcony anyway. Oh, I love that they got it though. They get it.
Yeah, they do get it.
Oh,
they do get it. I thought it was going to go a different direction. I thought it was going to be them not having a meal and the photographer making a big deal about it. But it was just, turns out, the lack of a table.
Which is crazy.
Which is wild.
Give me any reason to go somewhere else.
And sit on the floor.
And sit behind something.
Yeah.
Man, memory came to mind. My favorite, it was probably my least favorite vendor meal. Sorry, Carly. It was at Carly's wedding. It was
those were bad,
awful.
Man. Oh, my gosh.
I think it was like burritos from that morning.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
But that's like one of my favorite vendor meal moments.
Yeah,
because we were sitting in like some back with all the tables and stuff on some crappy chairs, just sitting there with the photographers and in the back. It was like dark. There was no lights. Like we were sitting there trying to muscle down this wet burrito.
Oh my gosh!
Oh. But you know what I mean? Like I never once thought like I should be sitting in a proper. I'm a proper.
Yeah.
And a lot of weddings like that, like in our lot in St. George, the vendor room was in a tent with the generators, so it was just like something like gasoline. It was just loud. Like that's just the vibe.
Some good pasta though.
Yeah, that's just the vibe though. Yeah. But we didn't think we were gonna be fed. We thought we wouldn't have time, and it kind of sucked. But like, I'm never gonna walk up with the bride and be like, It's in our contract that we eat. Yeah, it is. But I'm never going to enforce it. I'll just be honest.
I can understand when a vendor is upset about not being fed. I get it. We all want to be fed. We want to be taken care of. It's in the contract, whatever. But I don't understand not having a vendor table and being upset about that. Like that's just different level of petty. Like that's and to interrupt a whole wedding. That's wild.
Yeah.
The actual couple themselves, like it's their problem. Big no.
Yeah.
Get rid of that photographer.
I think I'd rather just come with like a few Kirkland bars and like a Red Bull, and then if they feed me, great. If not, I got a few snacks and I'll get Taco Bell on the way home.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die.
No.
I've done 24-hour fast before.
Yeah. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah.
But I would never walk up to the bride and say, "Hey."
Was there a planner there?
Probably not. I doubt it.
If there was, you always go to the planner first. Well, go to the assistant of the planner.
Yeah, don't go to the planner. Go to a member of the team.
Right. Don't
point person.
bother. Yeah.
Whoever's holding the clipboard.
Yeah, whoever can make it happen. But don't go to the bride and groom.
But at that point, if there's like an assistant planner, they usually are feeding you.
Yeah. I would say from this story, I wouldn't mind if this photographer was just out of the industry.
Yeah.
Get her out.
Burning it.
Get him out. Get this person out.
I told us before, but one of our weddings in Ohio, we sat at the head table.
I was about to bring that up.
They sat us down with the parents. The photographers were in the back. We were seated next to the couple's parents.
We were right front and center.
So you was in college? I'm like, no, I dropped out. I don't believe in it. And they're like all Harvard people.
Yeah, that was very uncomfortable sitting there talking with the parents, very wealthy people.
It was great. They're nice, but I was just like, I want to check out for a second.
I appreciated that in this story they said we would rather not sit with random strangers or some relative to just make small talk. It's like that, to me, that part of the day can either be one of my favorites or one of my least favorite. Yeah. If I'm by myself or if it's just us with our team, one of my favorite parts of the day, just being able to sit down, rest my feet, enjoy some food. No matter what it is, I enjoy that.
I've been harboring this.
Please.
We all saved you a seat in St. George and you sat with the photographers instead of us.
Funny you bring that up because that seat, I didn't think it was available. If you remember, there was only one seat and everyone was sitting down. And so I'm like, I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to show we're all friends with the photographer.
There were plenty of seats, but there's people's stuff on the table.
There was one seat.
I moved the stuff to the side
as I was sitting down.
Then you move.
No, I was sitting down.
Loyalty.
No, I remember this very well. I remember very, very well. I saw the table and I'm like, oh, everyone's sitting down. There's not a seat for me. I'm gonna sit down with the photographers. We're all on the same team here. I'm gonna be friendly. And I sat down, and then I looked behind. I was like, oh, there's a chair. Should I go over there? But I was like, I was already sat.
Right next to you.
Sat. But at the time where I had to make the split-second life or death decision, Jake.
See, I wouldn't say it's life or death. It's easy. Oh, sorry. There's a chair over there for me.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, but I was already committed to that one spot. I was taking one for the team. I was taking one for the team.
Self-inflicted pain that didn't need to be given.
I was taking one for the team.
But you didn't need to.
To be a team player.
No one was expecting
a pleasure to work with.
They might have wanted to have their own table without you.
Are you kidding me, dude? No, they gave me a seat. They said, sit here.
I think
Please,
they were,
mate, sit here. Let's
talk about this wedding without the videographers just eavesdropping.
We had a very fruitful discussion.
I will say, as far as vendor meals go,
That was a good meal.
I'm trying to think of one that's better than that.
That was a good meal.
That hit harder than any vendor meal I've ever had in my entire life. I really can't think of another vendor meal where I'm like, that hit harder than that.
There were, and it didn't look like it was going to hit.
No, we walked in. It was an hour and a half behind schedule, so it was like 9 o'clock at this point, and
Everyone was pretty grumpy. They was like, oh,
grumpy.
No food.
We had eaten all day.
Yeah.
Athie had been there since 7 a.m.
Yep.
And he hadn't eaten yet.
It was like, what, 9 p.m. at this
I think
point?
he had like a coffee in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And then the vendor meal time was done, and then it came and went, and there was no food.
It was like, dang.
And so we had to go back to work, and then we had like a little window to eat, and we walked in. There's these two just massive trays
Just tinfoil trays.
of
Bolognese pasta.
with the big noodles, like the big tubes, and then like chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, it was like a white sauce
Yeah,
pasta.
white sauce. There was no chicken in it. Was there? I don't think
I think there was. I think it was
Maybe
chicken.
there was. It was gone when I got to it, but it's so
Dude,
good.
it was so good.
It was so
I
creamy.
couldn't believe, like, it didn't look like it was going to be, it was like, oh, the leftovers, you know, but it
was
was
so
like,
rich.
it was buffet, like a
And
massive
it was right
tins.
off the stove.
And just dig in with a huge spoon.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I'm really trying to think of a better vendor meal.
The one better vendor meal I've had, I was second shooting with Dallin a couple years ago in Idaho. There's a company called Horsewood Catering. They had like tri-tip. They had tri-tip. They had tomahawk. They had like steak nachos.
Is this the place that beat my tomahawk?
No, that was River Horse. You still remember that?
Guess. I haven't told you this.
Please.
And you got to finish your story.
No, Horsewood Catering in Idaho.
I remember you telling me about that.
Man, I know Courtney's going to text us the second she hears this and say, Horsewood Catering is the go. They're so good. But yeah, all the steak was just like medium rare, perfect.
I think any place that gives you steak, it's just like a win.
Dude, it was buffet style.
You know what was good?
Not what?
The Texas wedding. The barbecue.
Which Texas?
Wasn't the world's best barbecue.
Which Texas? Alex?
My birthday, yeah.
Yeah. Crossford?
Great.
That was really good. That was really good. That was a good one.
Maybe we already knew this. Harmon's.
Is this what you're waiting to tell me?
Yeah. There's
Okay.
River Horse steaks. I
Say
walked
that
to the
again?
butcher shop at Harmon's yesterday, and they had a sign. I'm assuming it's new. They say now sourcing River Horse meat.
You're
and
kidding.
Everything on display was from River Horse.
You're kidding.
No. And I was like, and I forget where I knew that from.
You haven't been to River Horse yet.
No.
We have to
Wait, in
go.
Park City?
Yeah.
I've been there. I have. Yes.
You sure?
The steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I went there with
upper
Kenzie
level.
on a staycation one time. Yeah. Expensive.
Yeah.
Drop a fat penny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the ribeye?
Almost. Yeah.
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 And they had this.
Oh, did you try the prime rib?
I didn't try the prime rib.
It looked raw. But
Dude, I remember the compound butter they had there, previous to the entree, which is the roll.
Okay, I need to go again. It was like right before.
It was
during
probably
COVID. So I
pre-meat
didn't
phase for you.
appreciate- I didn't
Yeah.
appreciate
No,
it. It was
we
great
gotta
meat.
go
Yeah.
again.
Let's do it.
Harmon's is doing River Horse steak.
Yes, I walked in and I was like, that's a new sign. I walked up to the butcher shop and I was like, River Horse. I was like, no freaking way. Yeah. Because what was the other one? Snake River?
Snake River. Yeah.
I think they used to do
And
that.
then like Ruth's Chris or whatever. Yeah, we got to go to River
shit.
Horse.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are coming to Utah and they're having $60,000 6-course meals with their bridal party at River Horse. Remember a planner told us that?
Oh, yeah. Sick invites.
Sick invite. Would have loved that gig.
All right, next story. Drone. Man, also, in the spirit of transparency, Nate broke our drone.
I did not. Okay. All right. Let's set the record straight here.
Let the record show that when it was in Nathan's care,
No.
It broke.
No. I am putting my foot. Okay.
can we just say this? Day before, it was in Dallin's hands for 3 days, and it worked beautifully.
Thank you for saying that because no, it did not. And you know it. You know it didn't work. No.
I had to calibrate ours
No,
in
we have
Mexico.
never ever had to calibrate it the way it needed to.
I did in Mexico.
Which was it?
All directions.
Which calibration? You were doing the compass.
The circle, and then you did the other one, not the joysticks, though.
Okay, see, I'm glad you said that because this is the joysticks.
So you
the right joystick
broke
was
the
broken.
joystick.
I
when
haven't
transporting it to your home.
All right, audience, listen to this. So we have the DJI Mavic 3 Cine. Okay, great drone, fantastic drone.
Stolen from Parker Walbeck, he'll claim.
Well, yeah, he'll claim I did give up a good paycheck for that, and We just shot a wedding in St. George. We hired our buddy Dallin Aldis to be strictly a drone pilot. He did a great job. I don't think if we can
Definitely could work on his parallaxing, but he did a good job.
he does get the yips.
When watching a few times, I'm like, oh, this is so good. Oh, ruined.
Shoot.
No, it's so good. Oh, ruined. Well,
Right
nothing.
as the moment's happening, he gets the yips and he kind of just go, quick jerk. Oh.
Like I'm playing Smash Bros.
But yeah, the day before, we'll spare them the details of what we were trying to do. But basically,
Details are important.
well, okay, we were trying to show the bride that one angle was going to be better for a ceremony view. So we need to pop the drone in the air.
Guys, we saved a wedding.
And Dallin's trying to pop the drone in the air, and we're talking with the wedding planner, and Dallin's like, hey, the drone won't take off. And so I sprint over there, save the day, Nate.
3 steps.
So I go over there, and I calibrate this drone. Just put the team on my back,
What
calibrate the
you usually do
drone,
with the
and it takes off. We're able to take a picture, which convinces the bride to switch the direction of the ceremony.
Whole different angle.
So, yeah, completely different angle. And then everything's fine. Drone works fantastic for the next 2 days. Yeah, Dallin's just flying the drone. Everything's fine. I don't touch the drone. No. I don't touch the drone.
And it's back in his care.
I don't even pack the drone. The only relationship I have with the drone at this point, Jake, is that
in your house.
Is that I am somehow related to this drone. Okay, we drive home from St. George.
Was it in the back of the truck?
It was in the back of the truck.
Just bouncing around everywhere.
In a very well put together case, joysticks taken out, everything is protected, not bouncing around.
Still in the truck bed.
Not bouncing around.
Still in the truck bed.
Not bounced around. It was wedged. Okay?
Wedged.
Confined.
I'm just messing with you.
So we get home. Next day, my buddy reaches out. Old college roommate.
Wait, you said next day.
The next day after getting home, old college roommate, buddy of mine, who owns a roofing company. Hey, man, I am doing a house in Pleasant Grove, Utah, 5 minutes from you. Can you swing by with your drone and take some pictures? Sure, why not? Happy to help out. I haven't touched the drone. I'm trying to reemphasize how little I have touched this drone since. Hang on.
I think we can...
Hang on.
I need
Hang
to
on.
interject.
No.
I have to interject here.
Please. Okay, go ahead.
I think we have evidence on camera that doesn't matter the length of time you hold something, it can go to crap pretty quickly. Oh, here's this light. Dropped. Broken. Whereas me, I
Drop the most expensive things.
but it takes a lot longer.
No.
Go on.
No.
I'll make my arguments at the
Okay,
end.
yeah, please save those. So the next day, I roll up to my buddy's place at 8 in the morning. Drone hasn't come out of the bag. I haven't done anything to the drone. I open the case. Drone won't take off. Nothing out of the usual. And so I'm like, oh shoot, I just got to calibrate it. I calibrate it, do the little spinny, horizontal, whatever.
Drop it.
And it's not, no.
Drop the controller.
Drone's fine, and it says the RC calibration's off. I'm like, okay, I've done this before. So I click it, have to turn off the drone, go to RC calibration. The right stick doesn't register up and down. That's it. The next day, hang on, wait.
Joysticks
Hang on,
were not taken off the controller.
100%. I can guarantee, put a gun to my head, Jake. I will tell you they were taken off the controller.
Let me tell you
I couldn't
why
be
say
more
that.
positive.
It's because
Couldn't be more positive.
Thursday when we took it out
Mhm.
for B-roll, no,
Mhm.
someone packed it. Dallin maybe
Probably.
with
So
the
Dallin broke the
joysticks.
drone.
With the joysticks.
So Dallin broke the drone.
No, because it worked still. It was still working.
The next day after that, I was spending my day with DJI contact, support, whatever. I was doing everything. I was resetting firmware,
intern's job.
updating. Yeah, exactly. I was doing it.
But there he was.
And I didn't want to spend my time doing
But
it.
he did.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit, right?
No, it's not. That's the opposite.
It's just easy though, right?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, ultimately I just ordered a new
Yeah.
RC drone. So here's where I'm saving the day though. I'm gonna send it in.
Please.
We got a 30-day refund on the one that it's working perfectly now.
What is?
The new RC that came in, remote controller.
What's working perfectly now?
The new RC that I just ordered that came in.
What's the refund for?
So I'm gonna send in our old one. It's gonna see if it's taken care of. Maybe it's free. I don't know. And if it is, they'll send it back,
Oh,
and
nice.
then we refund that, and we get our money back.
Oh, nice. Just in time to buy the Mavic 4.
Yeah. Just this drone is on its last leg, man. That thing is.
It's a beautiful drone.
It is a beautiful drone. I just have a feeling that somebody's gonna fly it into a flagpole.
Or break the remote
This
controller.
guy. Yeah.
And
Dallin?
let's see, who has crashed it into a mountain and now sent in parts to DJI to be fixed under their care?
It wasn't.
And which one of us has
Broken.
never damaged the drone at all? I will say my old drone, I put through hell.
No,
I'll never forget in Savannah, Georgia, my Mavic 2 bottom sensor was broken, and I forgot. I had it on sport mode, so I was trying to land it.
Bounce it off.
And it usually slows down, hits the ground, and I'll never forget seeing it just
Goosh.
bounce off the ground, and then it kept flying. Like, that's the last time I used it.
Yeah. No, this is as I was studying for my my Part 107
Nice.
recently, there was a
Pass, by the way.
I did pass. Yeah. There was a question on there that talked about behaviors of drone pilots.
Here we go.
Made me think of you.
I should be behind the wheel.
There was, it talked about, I already forgot, but there was one attribute. There was invulnerability, machismo.
Machismo? What the hell does that mean?
Someone who just wants to push the limits for no good reason. And I was just like, I know someone who suffers from machismo.
The best shots of my career
They
came
are
from
good.
machismo. The shot of your bridles going through a wave.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
No, I just know our drone has limited time.
Why do you say that?
'Cause
What are you doing to it?
No,
I
not
feel like
what
it's
am
in
I
great
doing.
condition.
It's what you are going to do.
I use that thing 10 hours a day in Mexico for 3 days.
I know. But one of these days, you are going to run it straight. You're going to bring it down.
I think my
The amount of
superpower-
times, and here comes the invulnerability part. It happens to everybody else,
what is he-
never to me.
Oh, okay.
But I'll never
Well, it
forget.
does.
Every single time you
So
fly,
far it does.
every time you fly, there's always a
Yeah, every time. Man,
oh wow.
close calls.
I'll remember-
Mexico, I almost hit Jose Villa's drone.
Yeah.
Like twice.
Seattle for down
I'm
in
like
Morgan.
panning in front. I'm like, that's a drone. And I almost hit someone else's
Yeah.
drone.
No, one of these days
Seattle.
with down in Morgan. Sorry, Oregon.
Did I crash your drone?
Remember we're flying the at the cliffs and you drop down.
That was so close.
No, yeah, you've never crashed it, but
Gotta remember when sport mode's on because I always forget.
yeah,
But I get the best shot in sports mode.
you do get good
I
shots.
almost crashed at Kinetic like 3 times. I think the almosts, maybes, what ifs, whatever,
I think those still amount
all
to
useless.
something.
I don't think so.
I think they still
I think
amount
the
to
track
something.
record. You know, it's like almost on a car crash and it's like a hit on your insurance.
No.
You look at the accidents.
The actual accident.
And so far with the Mavic 3, it's imbalanced.
I've had one accident. Yeah,
I would say it's a soft 2.
one.
Mm,
Here you are saying there's either an accident or there's not.
well, we do have parts in the shop.
I didn't do the sticks.
No, honestly, let's just blame Dallin. I'm actually okay with that. I'm cool with that one.
No, I get framed for breaking gear. I want it on camera. Jake breaks gear, puts it in my bag.
Wow, that is not true. That's
No, I
never
know.
happened.
I am very suspicious of that.
Give me one example.
I won't do broken gear, but I'll do lost gear.
Okay, I will die on this hill. You
where's
are
the-
still.
Where's this? Happened today, Jake.
steal
Oh,
my
you have the
bat.
24 to 70? Oh, you. Oh,
No,
oh, wait.
no, I do. Do I? Do I?
Do I?
I do. No, I
when you don't find it, it's where was it?
I can pull up the text. How many times have I said, "Do you have the lens?" No, I don't. And then seconds later, okay, I
Maybe
do.
once or twice, yeah.
That's enough.
Once recently.
Recently.
Once recently.
I'm convinced you are stealing my batteries. Again, what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. But I want to do an inventory one day.
I take
where-
a couple batteries too. Batteries get swapped easy.
But the imbalance, I feel like if you get them, I'm like, okay, great. Now we have like 20. I have 8, and he has 12. Next time I see you, you have 8. And I'm like, where are they?
I think in total, I think I have 7 batteries.
7?
Mine.
Where'd all I bought? Remember? Did
I
you see
think
my
I have
backpack
7
walking to
batteries.
St. George?
Yeah.
I had like 20. That's all I have in that bag. And I
don't know.
Tanner doesn't have them.
Well, I walked away from St. George missing like 3.
Maybe they're where the drone parts are.
I don't
We
know.
do need to get together one day and just label everything. So we know that at the end of a wedding, we pack up. Nate has 6 cards. I have 6 cards. Nate has 10 batteries. And we can see if N through 10 is missing. Okay, where's N2?
We just need a studio.
Yeah.
Our own studio that just,
Parker lost all of his gear because of that.
I guess that's true.
But it would be nice. I love being organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another revelation in the terms of this last weekend or the last month's wedding. The Bractolite is cooked.
Yeah.
Well, it's still
It's irrelevant.
great. There's just better, cheaper options.
Irrelevant.
To pay $1,600 for a Bractolite, we can get the Godox, which we use at Emma's wedding.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, we're at this. We tried it out in St. George and loved it.
Yeah.
Loved
and they're
it.
cheap.
Only thing which I think will be fixed future is the Godox. What's the official ML 100B?
Oh,
Because remember thinking it's like
the
I'm thinking of the app.
880B.
Oh, that's the
That's the big boy.
footage.
That's the big boy.
Godox ML. Anyway,
Oh no.
only thing that they need to fix is a native app. They have a third-party app, which is fine, but I just would like.
A native
I'm a
app.
native app guy.
Yeah. I know you are.
Usually work better.
No.
almost
I
always
know you're a
work
native
better.
app guy.
So once they can give me that native app, and I Aperture, I think like when devices can communicate to their app and it's the same software versus like a third party. You agree with me on this one?
Yeah, I agree with you on that
Okay.
one. Yeah. I just know what you're trying to imply. I know I know what you're trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I have an activity for tonight. I was debating if I was to bring it up to you or not
Please.
for the boys.
Please.
So I'm gonna bring 4 different waters: a Fiji, Dasani.
Dude, I got a
Dasani?
story. I don't know. It's
Dasani,
your water.
Dasani. Kirkland. If I can find a Kirkland at a gas
Got to
station,
go to Costco.
I'm not gonna go to Costco for 1 water bottle.
You can't get it at a gas
Okay,
station.
well, what's another water?
It's
Deer
Supreme.
Park, and then like something else like Smart Water.
Deer Valley, you mean the green bottle?
Is that
The one Sam drinks?
no? Deer Park. Do they something Deer Park?
I think.
What's the
Oh,
what's
the
a crappy,
crappy
what's a
antler.
crappy
The
water
ant,
brand?
I think yeah, Deer. Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
Deer
know if they
Park.
still make it.
I know what you're talking about though. I know what you're talking about.
Point is, I'm gonna get Dasani, Fiji, crappy water, and then Smart Water. Maybe a Voss.
Please do.
Put them under a box with straws,
This is tough.
and then I'm
This
gonna
is
put a
tough.
camera, and you have to guess which one is
No,
which.
no. Okay, well,
And it's only for you because Sam and Dallin pallets.
I suck.
Yes, well.
You have to do it as well though too. Because I've done this before.
No, I'm the one putting the experiment. Can't I just be the judge?
No, you gotta do it because there's a lot of tension around this. You can't just be like, oh, well, you didn't pass
I
this.
think my argument. You're the one defending here. I'm the one saying they're all great.
No, I am weirdly defensive about water.
I'm the one saying that's my point.
No.
Is that you can't tell. So if I get it wrong,
Dude,
that proves my point.
I got a good story about this. Great story, actually.
Okay.
You're gonna really like this one. But first off, I've done this before. Kayla did it with like Diet Coke
yeah,
versions,
I've seen that.
which was really hard. There was like
I
Coke
would
Zero.
crush that.
There was
I'm
Coke
addict.
Zero. There was Diet Coke. There was Coke. There was Pepsi, and
We'll do
like
that as well. I'll get on.
yeah,
this.
I think we should do that. So, my story. Most people won't understand this, but there's a place in Utah called Beaver. My favorite place on earth. I love Beaver. I put Jake onto it. Beaver, when I was in high school, it used to have this billboard that when you're driving through, it's a middle of town nowhere, like middle, maybe a population of 1,000 people, if that. And there was this billboard that says Beaver, #1 water. And so I'm like, dang, Beaver has #1 water. It doesn't say in the nation or a state, it was just #1 water. So that's how I started loving Beaver. Because
What rank?
I know, it's like, what is it? It's just #1. So
Maybe it's
every
the only
year,
water. It's a small town.
yeah, it could have been.
#1 water
of the
that
city.
you'll ever see in the city.
But it was just iconic because it's the stop on the way to St. George,
It
on
is.
the way to Vegas.
Perfect
like
halfway
it's
spot,
it's a
yeah.
great halfway spot. And so it just became the
Good
joke.
ice
Like,
cream.
Beaver has the best water.
Yeah.
So that kept going all through high
Oh,
school.
you didn't believe it. You just, that was the billboard.
No, I believed it.
Oh, you did.
And I still feel
Global.
I felt it was true.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a Beaver guy.
Yeah. So in college, I still have this, Beavers. I have it on my car. I heart Beaver, So in college, wow, dude, this is going back. You hired me to shoot a wedding in St. George. Because remember you couldn't go?
That's
The McMullins?
Yeah.
I go to that wedding. I filmed that wedding. And there was a bridesmaid who was checking me out. Okay?
Years later,
And I
they're not
thought
together.
and I thought she was cute. And so I go up and talk to
Kayla, you listening to this?
Okay, Kayla, sorry.
He said she was like super attractive. I think he just said she's the prettiest girl he's ever seen.
Okay, there was this bridesmaid. She thought I was cute. I thought she was cute, and I go and
What's
talk
her
to
name? Let me ask
her
my
name
cousin.
her name was Abby.
Oh, you know her name.
So I go and talk to Miss McMillan. I forgot
Yeah.
Tammy.
Tammy.
Tammy. Afterwards,
Aunt Tammy.
and I was like, "Hey, there was a girl there. What's her name? Like, I'd love to get in contact with her." It's like, "Oh, her name's Abby," and like,
Man, you had a set on you.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I did. So I was like, "Hey, I want to get in contact with this bridesmaid. Like, she was cute. First time in my career this ever happened." I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
You were on the job for me.
Yes.
And you were fraternizing
Yes.
with bridesmaids.
Yes, I was.
You guys.
I landed a date from it.
You guys.
And we're business partners now. It all worked out. Great. No, so I met this girl, and
We just had an episode about being professional on somebody else's dime.
hey, I was in college. I
I didn't know what I was doing either.
Yeah, none of us knew. So I go on a date with this girl the next week. She's in St. George. I'm 4 hours away. We made it work. On this date, somehow, I start talking about beaver water. Okay? And she's like, "Beaver? Nothing good is in beaver,
Fighting words for Nathan. I used to toss those out freely.
Yeah, those hurt for me. And so I had to educate her on why beaver was the best, why I had the best water.
It's a short
And
list.
get me, this is where it gets crazy, okay? On our third date, she's driving from St. George up to Draper. She picks up some beaver water. She stops at the gas station, gets some water from Beaver, goes to Draper. She gets some water from like Wendy's, water from a gas station, and water from like Dasani or something. She shows up to my house. We're on our third date here, Jake. She has them all in the same cups. She says, "I have 4 different waters." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "One's Wendy's, one is a gas station, one is Dasani, one is from Beaver." So you telling me this story of what we're going to do tonight rings some bells. And she says, "I want you to tell me which one
I
is
would
from
fail.
Beaver. Tell me which one is from Beaver, because you've defended it."
Wendy's has good water.
Wendy's did have good water.
Wendy's
Okay.
is a good choice.
She said, "I want you to rank these waters." So I drank all 4 of the waters and ranked them worst to best. At the end of it, she said, "Okay, the one you placed at number 4 was the one from Beaver." What that did to me, Jake,
Never talk to her again.
that was the last date we ever went on.
So petty.
And I'm being dead serious.
So
That
petty.
was the last date we ever went on.
What was number 1?
I don't remember. After she told me that, I just tuned out. Everything else.
And knowing you,
Yeah, dude,
I bet you took that so
I
personally.
did. Yeah, and it was our last date.
Just instant flare up. I guess I'm gonna be woman.
Crazy. Yeah, that was the last thing I ever did.
Okay, so one could say that it's
Please.
being in the place, having the experience that really helps make that water what it was.
No. No, it had great water.
I bet in Beaver, that's the best water.
No, you want to know what it is, Jake? You want to know what it really is?
Experience.
You want to know what it really is?
Location.
It wasn't fresh. It was 3 hours off the tap.
My argument to that would be, if it's truly the best water, shouldn't it last?
No. The first sip of Fiji water tastes plastic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it does. That's why what we're going to do tonight is flawed.
The first sip.
When you unscrew the cap and you take that first sip of Fiji
We'll have
water,
a straw. You'd be
it
drinking the
tastes
bottom.
kind of plasticky, but after that it goes away.
Oh, we'll put that to the test.
Please open the bottle right in front of me.
I'm going to ask you which one is plasticky, and you'll be like,
Well, no,
this one.
it won't
Oh,
taste
that's the
because it's
boss.
out of the bottle. It's out of the bottle too long. The water changes.
I'm going to open the caps with straws, and you're going to sip out of the bottles.
See, I've never drank Fiji out of a straw. Yeah, I'm talking about when you undo it with the blue cap and you just sip. You get a first sip plasticky taste,
Because your lips are touching plastic.
but it goes away right after that. and I'm still touching
Because
plastic.
you're putting your saliva on plastic.
No. It should stay. Something is bottled
The
in
only
there.
way I
It's a
can
little
do this
plasticky
test
taste.
fairly is to have straws
Yeah, I know.
inside the bottles themselves.
Yeah, I know. Or you just pour them into like a paper.
I thought about that, or glass, but I think if we're gonna be fair,
There's some transfer of
if we're gonna be fair, how it's bottled, it's on the company, and if you taste that, I want to know,
That's fair.
because that to me is
That's fair.
packaging is
Yeah.
the product too.
That's fair.
And so if it's like, you know what, Dasani, after tasting them all blindly, that just tastes like pure plastic garbage, that's on them. That's a fair assessment.
No,
The water quality is only as good as the thing it's in.
I respect
Actually,
that.
I'm going to add a aluminum bottle to that test as well. I wonder if we can truly tell. I always taste aluminum.
In the aluminum Dasanis?
Is that no? Oh yeah, they have Dasani. No, it's the other brand. But yeah, I always can taste when it's in aluminum.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're doing a test tonight. I'll get Cokes as well. I'm curious. I bet I could pass the Coke test.
It's harder than you think.
Because Tanner and I went to the movies, and he got Diet Coke. I got Coke Zero, and I tasted. I was like, "This is yours," and I just knew. Because Coke Zero tastes worse.
But it's also, I think we need a good palate cleanser. Because when you go from like a really.
I'll have grapes.
Is that a palate cleanser for soda?
It's
Just a palate cleanser?
We'll have grapes and dark chocolate. This is about to be a charcuterie now. Wow. I'll get some cheese as well and some crackers. I'm actually so. Are you down?
I'm down.
That's a lot of calories. Never mind. Great cut, you guys.
Grapes and cheese.
Cheese adds up.
Cheese does add up.
I've been sipping on this. This is my breakfast and lunch, by the way.
It's not healthy.
Well, I'm going to eat well tonight. And by eat well, I mean not very well.
Some Coke Zero and water.
This is my 20 calories. This is it.
I like a good prime. I think we have one more story, Jake. I don't know how that happened.
All to say, the drone story. That's where it all came from.
Is that really where it came from?
It's a drone story.
You're right.
Go ahead.
Dang, we really.
Go ahead.
Oh, I haven't even read the drone story.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Still waiting.
Are you kidding me? Sorry, guys. That was kind of fun, though. Is there anything else we need to like hash out?
Raccoonized, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
It should be lower or farther that way.
We'll figure it out. Okay. I was flying my drone above the venue to get establishing shots. The venue was a private residence with a house and lots of land. I was flying the drone too close to the trees, trying to get a shot of the house when it hit a branch and fell. The screen on my controller looked terrible as it fell out of the air. Thankfully, a groomsman outside on the porch with his buds saw the drone in the grass and returned it to me. It was inoperable, but thankfully I had gotten what I needed. God must have been watching over me as the damage was fixable with some super glue.
Sounds like a Nate story. All right, that's a great episode.
No. Oh, hey, look, the next one's about an FX3 being dropped. No, we do.
Only human Nate.
No, we do have one more story though.
All right, go for it.
I was a second
I
videographer.
have nothing to say about the drone.
I don't either. Yeah,
We
sorry.
already
Sorry,
beat it to
man.
death.
Yeah, I had to climb up a mountain to get ours.
Yeah.
I was a second videographer filming getting ready with the groom. I was on a 50 millimeter and I needed space because of the lens. I was leaning against the window behind me, sitting on the ledge facing into the room. We were on the 14th story of a hotel. Suddenly, I feel as if I'm falling through the window and stumble to regain control of my body weight. Luckily, the window was behind me, supporting me. It was really embarrassing.
You almost fell out the window?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's embarrassing.
that is tough.
That's an awkward moment, all right.
Keep an eye out for those open windows.
Is that our whole list?
That's our whole
Yeah,
list.
that's the backlog. Submit more stories.
Yeah, we're done.
Man. I don't know this episode. I don't know how long we've been talking.
About 45 minutes.
Okay, that sounds like that.
40-ish minutes.
That's crazy. You guys, if you want to come to our workshop this year and learn how to fly a drone, I'll be running that. Obviously, clearly, no crashing in the mountains here. You can pass all the tests you want, but at the end of the day, it's what you do on the field, right? Not just what you do in the classroom. So, if you want,
Can't even say it with a straight face.
Sport mode. I'll be there. No, but that's it for today, you guys. If you have any questions, let us know. Submit your stories. Shameless plug. Seriously, jokes aside, join us in October. We would love, love, love to have you in St. George. We only have I think like a couple tickets left, but we want them to sell out so we can give the experience everything we want to give. So, we'll love to see you there. Let us know what you think about the space. We like it. Love how close it is to our homes, and it's fun to kind of play with, and we can move the lighting. So, fun to mess with. Let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Till next week.
Happy May.
Yeah.